Hello, my name is Dr. Kate Ringham and I am the Programme Lead for Applied Accounting in Oxford Brookes Business School at Oxford Brookes University. And this particular video looks at cut and paste and what's the problem with cut and paste. Well, the issue with cut and paste is that it is a reason for failing in your research report because it is unacceptable academic practice. And it's unacceptable academic practice in criteria 1, 2 and also 3 because you're relying on work that has been created by other people. It's also unacceptable academic practice in the skills and learning statement because again you're using sources that you've effectively copied from other places. So let's start by thinking about what is cut and paste. Well, cut and paste is where you are copying information from a source and using it directly in your work. Now, you may include a reference, and you should include references, but that doesn't stop it being cut and paste. And this is a problem because where you're copying directly from another source and you're not in any way changing that text, you are not demonstrating your understanding or your ability to apply your knowledge to a situation. It's not really your own work, it's somebody else's work. Yes, you've referenced it, but you're not demonstrating you understand what's actually going on. So what's the answer? Well, in order to avoid lots of cut and paste, you need to be paraphrasing. There's another YouTube video that talks about paraphrasing in more detail, but in essence, paraphrasing is where you're finding a source, you're reading it, you understand it, and then you write it in your own words. You still have to include the reference for the source because you're using the ideas of others, but because you have written in your own words, you are demonstrating your knowledge, you're showing the fact that you can apply your knowledge, and you're doing the work yourself. So what does that mean in terms of referencing? So when you're thinking about your research report or your skills and learning statement, probably mainly your research report, in the text, so in that research report, you'll have arguments, ideas, points that you have written in your own words, but that you're using a source as the source of those ideas. So you've identified a source, you've read that source, you're paraphrasing, you're putting that source into your own words. So you write the ideas in your own words, and then you include the reference as the source and the date. Or you might have actually a source and the date, and then you might use a word such as states, or what we call reporting words that then explain what the argument, what the idea, or what the points are. In your reference list, you then have the source and the date, and then you include the name of the article, the publication, the URL, where did you find it on the internet, and the date you accessed it. So there's more detail on how you can do referencing on YouTube. There's a whole playlist on referencing, so do have a look at that. But in essence, you are demonstrating that you have found a source, you've assessed the credibility of that source and want to rely on that person's ideas or points and include that within your argument. So you paraphrase it, you put it into your own words, and you reference that source. So this means you do use what we call reporting words. And here's some examples of the words that you can use to introduce the ideas of other people. So suggests, argue, states, shows, claims, any of those are ways in which you can introduce the paraphrased words that you want to use. So one other question that we often get asked is it okay to use a pre-prepared SWAT or PEST from the internet? So often you will be using a SWAT or a PESTL about an organisation that's available from the internet. But you can't use a pre-prepared version because when we look at criteria 3, unacceptable academic practice due to over-reliance on analysis previously completed by other authors without additional research and analysis. So if you're relying exclusively on somebody's pre-prepared SWOT or PEST, then you're over-relying on work completed by other authors. So you do need to develop your own SWOT, your own PESTLE, use lots of different sources to build that rich picture of what's happening in the external environment in which your organisation is operating. Please do look at the rest of the YouTube channel to find other resources and other information to help you prepare your research report and your skills and learning statement.